Nevada, Arizona, and all those areas. And some of the peoples there stayed and became different nations. Oh, I want to invite Monica Abya Yala, who's from Houston. She's also a leader of one of the Aztec dance groups. Mario's from Austin. And so please welcome her. She's going to talk a little bit. I'm just kind of laying a foundation down of the word Mexican. We all identify as Mexican, but we also identify as Mexica. And so I'm just talking real briefly about that. And so I just wanted to tell you that we don't have BIA cards. My grandmother and my great-grandmother used to do delivery, natural delivery. They were called in Spanish parteras, and they were medicine women. And probably about 2.5 hours south from here. And they both delivered and cured people from a variety of illnesses and ailments, along with delivering children. And in our culture, in the Mexica culture, I mean, that you call the medicine woman. You know, that's what you do when you are able to bring life into town. And so as a little young person, I saw that, and I didn't know what it was. And so it was something that wasn't really like well received because of the stigma that sometimes natural medicines bring. I always find it funny when they call it alternative medicine, although that's been here like 10,000, 15,000 years, yeah. And we just had medical. It's only been around 100 years, but that should be the alternative. But anyway, so that's just my foundation, and I wanted to just start the dialogue on the word Mexican, the word Aztec, which is kind of a substitute word for Mexican or Mexica, and we are as Aztec dancers. So I want to pass the mic to my relatives here and just let them continue the dialogue, and then maybe we can have a few questions from the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Velio. So a little brief introduction. My name is Mario Cervantes. My Mexican name through my nation or lineage is like Smith, which is agave of light or maguey of light. That was given to me by the elders. I didn't pick it, they picked it for me, and there's nothing I can do about it. So we welcome the energy. That the name itself reflects who we are at the moment that we're born. And with the moment that we're born to the quarter of the hour, we have a destiny to fulfill. And that name, what you call it Tonalamat, is like a map, a road map. It's like something that it doesn't go right if we don't find a path. We can always go in there and find out what are the energies that are embedded into that to guide us through. And it's very unique. Each person has their own individual Tonalamat. So that's where the name comes from. And just a little bit brief, I guess, to complement Adelio's topic for discussion is the fact that sometimes, or most times, and we started to identify identity problems in the communities where kids don't know where they come from, right? They get lost into different things because there's so much exposure out there for media and television and news and new things and trends and you name it, right? So when they get lost in their own social structures, mainstream, they try to go through subcultures to identify themselves, but some of them are not productive subcultures. So what's missing is who you are, where are you coming from? Who are your parents, your grandparents, where are you born, your land? Do you know your own history? Yes, we know the history that we taught in school and things like that, international history, world history, and we understand the global aspect of it. But each of us, for the moment we're born, we have our own history to follow, right? And that goes into what Abya was talking about, the whole situation with the lack of understanding of those aspects. So we can tie both of them and start the dialogue with that, and then we can go ahead and be here for you to ask questions about it.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Monica Villarreal. I live in Houston, Texas. I am First Palabra Danza Azteca /Coyolot. I am also an interdisciplinary artist, an activist, and I'm a mother as well, and I do various things. My family is from the northern part of Mexico as well as Texas. Many generations down, at least 7 generations down. And so my adopted tribe is Azteca. And I know that at least my grandparents from my maternal side are from the Gualegua tribe. And from my paternal, I mean, it could be a mix of tribes from Texas. So, my family's always been here, although we've been called illegals. We've just always been migrating in these lands, and I think the topic that we're talking about today is sort of important, mainly because where we're at. We're in Texas, and the mix of tribes and people here, especially in Houston, it's very multicultural. So these sort of topics are important. I'm glad to be invited.
All right, thank you very much. So just kind of summarizes a couple of things, and then we'd like to open it up to questions and comments, and we want to make this interactive and everything. So we've established through the ICI, through the Garzas and the research, that we believe here is the creation story for our people, the Coahuiltecos, right? And as I mentioned earlier, our people were nomadic and traveled south and north, okay? And so it's interestingly that it's here and it's on the campus of a university. For a long time, I understand this was an attraction. I think it was a carnival or something.
It was the first big park in Texas in the 40s on. They designated the water like a swimming pig and underwater mermaid shows. We came here for field trips in elementary school.
Yeah, that's, okay, so state park, theme park, and everything. And if I'm correct, this water is cleaner than most purified waters that are treated and whatnot. Is that correct? That's what I'm understanding.
I just know it's really pure.
Yeah. So one of the things too that I just wanted to kind of close out and then just create the dialogue here is, when we do our four directions, we're also thinking about the four elements of life, right? The air, the earth, the water, and the fire. And we've been tasked also that we need to have those clean elements for our children, for your children, for your grandchildren, for our grandchildren. And so those are some of the teachings that we have and that we'd like to continue everybody, to do this work. I know, and I don't want to get all political or anything, this whole reliance on fossil fuels and all that kind of stuff, but those are some of the things that we as indigenous people really think about and we pray about for you guys, okay? And so here we are, outsiders in our own land, foreigners in our own homelands, and we don't have permission. I don't think there is a federally recognized tribe of Texas, if I'm correct. I don't think there's one. I want you to think about that. Minus Alaska, the biggest state in the 50 states of the United States other than Alaska, and there's not one federally recognized tribe. And so what does that mean? Well, there's no funding, some reservations, take land at will, don't give land back, etc., etc., etc. So, these are kind of some of the things that, we need to think about and realize, like, some of the structures and some of the things that are happening are intentional, right? I'm a Texas person, I'm real. Last time I checked, I was still alive and everything. And so, but with a sweep of a pen, they've made all Texas indigenous folk non-existent, you see. And so I just wanted to touch a little bit about that, and then on top of that, here we are as Mexicas or as Mexican folk. Now the Mexica word that I like to identify or use is, I like to think of it as like an umbrella, right? When we say America, right, we have Anglo-American or European American, Asian American, etc. And so Mexican is kind of like that too for me. I'm just speaking for myself. It's kind of like an umbrella term, because you have all these different nations and different folks that can sit on there. But then, as she said, I got adopted as well to the Mexica, because I do not have, or we do not have, and the goddesses will tell you, we don't have a living person that speaks our language. We do not have a person or a center that says, yes, here's the Coahuilteco Community Center, or here's this and that. Now the good news is ICI is working, and they've got funding. Am I correct, Roxanne? And that's going to happen for sure, right?
There were workshops today at the College of
Yeah, but isn't there a center coming up? The center's coming, so I'd like for you to talk about that here in a little bit, if you would, okay? Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it quiet here, and so just open it up to you guys. See if you have any questions, any comments. If not, maybe Roxanne can talk to us a little bit about the center. Anybody?